Hi guys, my name is Kate. Welcome to my channel. This is the first beauty style video that I'm going to try. Also the first video of me sitting in front of the camera and directly talking to you. It's not just my hands, this time. So yeah, a little bit different, but today I wanted to bring you my 2020 best of, worst of purchases of the year. 2020, it was definitely one of those years where sort of excessively bought things, I suppose is probably the best way to put it. Definitely bought more than I needed online, definitely bought more than I could use. It wasn't too bad. I did restrain myself somewhat occasionally, but I definitely can't say I was good with my my online shopping this year. So let's get into it. Let's go through my big box of purchases that I have next to me. Now, I'm not going to be going through them in any particular order. I've chucked them all in a box. I will tell you where they're from, where I bought them from, and all that jazz, but they're all sort of just dumped in together currently. Alright, so the first thing, and probably one of my favorite things that I bought, is this Jouer, and I'm really hoping that this will show up for you guys. This palette I bought right at the start of the year, and oh god, it is well used, if you can see, but I absolutely love this. I'll put the price on screen. I can't remember how much this was, but there's 6 different colors, and honestly they're really beautiful. So the one I've used the most is this one in the middle here, and this one is called Marigold, and then the other one that I really like is this shade called Adore Me, which is like a nice, sort of like I've used the most dusty pink, and sort of the like slightly darker, dustier pink. But yeah, I really like this. Have not touched the orange shade as much as I like it. I can't really use it as an eyeshadow because it's very warm. And I do like copper tones on my eyes because I do have blue eyes, but it's just too much, and I haven't found that it works formula-wise super well in the eyes, so I just haven't used it. But the rest of the shades are lovely, although the purple on the bottom right, when you apply it, it's very strong. Like these blushes are definitely ones that you apply a little bit and work it into your skin rather than put a whole lot on your brush, because you will end up looking like a clown. I am wearing Adore Me on my cheeks today. It's one of my more go-to colors for everyday makeup. I use the darker ones for stream because when I'm streaming, the lights are really bright and you wear powder and everything like that, and so you have to put a little bit more on, otherwise you just look a bit dead. Unfortunately, with all those bright lights and the blue lights from the screen, you gotta add a little something back to your face. But that was from Mecca, and that was a good life choice. Another thing I bought, which this one is more of a bonus item, I suppose. I got this ultraviolet lean screen, sorry. And this is quite nice. I admit I haven't been wearing it every day, but at the same time, I have not been leaving the house. So, I mean, go outside, wear sunscreen, especially when it's 30 degrees outside. If you're Australian, you know 100% what I'm talking about, 35 degrees plus. You gotta wear sunscreen, and this one has been quite nice. It is mattifying, and I found that when I wore makeup over it, it does tend to cling to fine lines, but on the upside, you're not oily. You won't be oily, you'll be matte, but you'll be very matte. But they have a whole different range of sunscreens, and you can pick which one you like. But that one's ultraviolet, and so far so good. I'm not allergic to it, which some sunscreens I am, unfortunately, but this one, totally fine. So some other purchases that I made super early in the year. I bought a variety of things off Yesstyle. Yesstyle tends to sell more Korean skincare, makeup, fashion, homewares. It kind of does everything. But I bought these lip glosses from, I think it's Rant. And I bought I bought one specifically lip gloss. I bought this because of TikTok. It is this beautiful, it's clear, but it has purple shimmers in it. It does have a slight minty, like, you know when you get those lip balms that are meant to be lip plumpers? It's kind of like that. It is just a clear gloss, but it's called Meteor Track, and it's also by Remand. But this is nice. I've used it as a lip topper for a few things, but I don't wear a lot of lip products, so it hasn't got the most use, but I still really like it. Don't regret purchasing it. Has not got the most use this year. The other 3 that I got from Yesstyle are these. Now these are some beautiful, it's Anne of Green Gables, but anime style, and they were so cute, and it's 3 different colors. They're 3 different shades of red. There's like a sort of like a muted matte red, which is in this shade. Oh, I cannot read it. Oh no. Number 7, which is a Jujube. There is Anne Shirley, which is more of like a brightish orange red. And there is Lychee Coral, which is number 9. I don't think you can buy these anymore. I do think they were limited edition. Again, I really haven't worn them that much. As much as they're beautiful colors, they do tend to transfer, and I just don't want to be wearing lipstick and to have it travel halfway around my face. It makes it kind of a pain to deal with, but on the upside, they aren't matte liquid lips, so you won't get the crusty, what have I heard people call it? Like your inner lip goes all crusty and like flakes off with matte lipsticks. You won't get that with these, so there is a positive. Another thing that I got from Yesstyle, I got these little makeup sponges, which hopefully you can see here. They are well loved. I've used these for quite a while now. They're really soft. They're very similar, and I think they would be dupes for what are they called? The face halo. I think these are dupes for. Comes in a pack of 3. I have one in the bathroom at the moment, so these 2 are nice and clean. But they're really good for taking your makeup off, or face paint, or whatever you're currently applying to your face. They're good to get the first layer off. I would still do a deep cleanse after, as they're not perfect, but they do a good job of getting the top layer off, and then you don't really have to worry about getting eyeliner or mascara on every single thing you own. So that's kind of nice. I like that. But these are really good, and they weren't very expensive either. Oh boy, okay, so this, look, I'm a sucker for good packaging. Okay, so this is a Cruella de Vil Disney Villains. I haven't opened it, which admittedly is my fault, but okay, so it is a little tiny beauty blender. Look at this, oh, it's so cute. And then it also comes with this lovely, it comes in a pair, so you get 2 little beauty blenders. And they're super nice. They seem to be good quality, but I haven't used them yet because they're so cute, and I love the packaging, and I just want to keep the packaging in one piece, and I really like them. So for now, I procrastinated using them because I have some, I think they're like $4 beauty blenders from Kmart, and they are good. Like I had one, oh, okay, so I bought one from Colourpop, which I will show on the screen somewhere. I bought, and it had like a velvet texture. Or it was meant to apply your makeup like super soft and give you a really nice texture when you blended your makeup, but it was awful. It was awful, and I used it once, and it stained so heavily. I think it was because it was a cream color. It stained so heavily that I literally couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't apply my makeup. I tried to wash it, and it started falling apart. So it just went straight in the bin. So that one I would not recommend. The $4 ones from Kmart, which I think are a brand called OXX, maybe? Those ones are really good. I like those, like $4, last me plenty of time. I think those ones will be good, just judging by the feel of them, and there's no special like texture on them, so they should act like a normal beauty blender. But I have not used them yet, so slight con, I suppose. I feel like I'll leave my Colourpop stuff to last because I have a lot of things. All right, I'll show you some drugstore makeup. So one of the things that I really like is by e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and I think this is in the shade Taupe. I was using one that was a shade darker before. It comes with, man, I feel like a real beauty guru doing this, I must say. It comes with a little spoolie on the end, and then the other end is a little pencil. I really like it, really good. Use it to do my eyebrows. Honestly, not really that good at doing my eyebrows, but I try my best. But I have very expressive eyebrows, and no matter what I put in them, they tend to go all over the place, and it's a struggle. But this I really like, and I bought another one which I have saved for when this runs out, and it's quite cheap. I do think it's good value. And speaking of e.l.f., I do have one other thing that I really like, which is the eyeliner pen, and it's really basic. It is just the one in black, very simple, very nice. It has a felt tip, which looks a bit messy, but I have been using this one. But I really like it. It applies really well. Used it to do my eyeliner today. I like this in Australian summer. During Australian winter, I do use another product, which I will show you, that I picked up this year that I really like. Really like it, think it's amazing. This I really like to use in summer because unlike the other product that I have, this is more waterproof. It's not waterproof, but it's more waterproof than a water-based product. I initially bought these, the first time I bought one of these was when I went to America for TwitchCon, and I ran into, I think it was a Target, and Target in America is like amazing. It even has a Starbucks. I don't even have Starbucks where I live, like WA or Western Australia. We rejected Starbucks, it didn't grow here. In Australia, it's mainly for tourists anyway. Yeah, so I went to Target and I bought these when I was in TwitchCon because I needed to buy some extra makeup products. And I picked these up and I loved it. And there was one in the shade Coffee, which I really like, but have not found in Australia. I don't know if they're not stocking it anymore, but I did really like that because you can go for the Korean beauty sort of like soft eyeliner with like the lighter brown. It's still quite dark. Like it's not like a super, super light brown. It's a dark brown, but it's still a bit less jarring than a black eyeliner. But do love it. Do recommend, give it a shot if you're walking past Kmart or something and they have it in stock. Also, very specifically, this one and not the one with the black packaging. The one with black packaging, I think it's a slightly different formula, but it felt like I was stabbing my eyeball. Don't recommend that one. Alright, so another daily product that I use, which is my concealer. I'm a very lazy human being and I don't normally wear foundation. I probably should, it would probably help even things out. But whenever I wear foundation, I feel like it slides off my face. And I don't know if I just need a way better primer or I just need to find a formula of foundation that works way better for me, but oh my god, it drives me mad. So this is the Lasting Radiance Concealer, and this one is from, what brand are you? Will you tell me? I think it's Rimmel. I will double check. But I use it in the shade Ivory, which is coincidentally, I'm very pale. Yes, I am aware. But this one matches well, and I have one shade darker for the rare time that I wear fake tan. I do have that, but I buy heaps of these. Whenever they go on 50% off at Priceline, I buy like 2 or 3 because they are so good. I apply it all over my face. Don't judge, especially for stream. It's really good. It lasts really well. I don't feel like it's sliding everywhere, and the formula works really well for me. So I buy heaps of these. Can't tell you how many I bought this year, but it's been many. Alright, so next, one of the websites I did shop from this year online was Beautybay. I picked up the Suva Hydroliners from Beautybay, and I love these. I can get them in focus. So the first one that I really like and that I basically use for everyday use, which you were going to see soon, it is like super scuffed, but the black is really good for doing eyeliner. It's absolutely amazing. The white is really good. It's the best white eyeliner I have used. I'm like, in comparison to everything I've used, this is what's worked best for me. I can't guarantee that it won't crack. It does a little bit, especially if you move your eye a lot, but it shows up the best of anything that I've used. And they are water activated, which is really good. The other one I have is this super, super, super bright neon pink. I love it. It's in the shade Scrunchy, and it's like super bright. Super, super bright. Love it. Worn it quite a few times for some fun, funky eyeliner, a little bit creative, and I do really like it. Now, admittedly, I have not used this shade Cherry Bomb a whole lot. It's a beautiful color, but I just don't get enough use out of it, you know? It's not as bright, and to be honest with you, it kind of makes me feel like it looks like my eye is like irritated and bleeding a lot. And I feel like if you do like a full, like super winged eyeliner creative look, it would look okay. But I think the few times I've used this, I haven't done it justice, and so it has looked maybe not the best, but you know, I wouldn't say it's a bad product. It works really well. Maybe not the right color for me. I feel like if I picked up some other colors, it would be really nice. I was looking at the palettes that they released, which are super good, and you get a brush with them. So that's kind of like on my wish list, something I would like to get in the future. Was thinking about it, but I did order those 3 first before the palettes were released, because I think they were released somewhere mid-year this year. And I do want to pick one up eventually, but I don't know which one to go for. Would you go for the pastel or the brights? Because honestly, I like both. I like pastels, but would I use the brights more? What do you think? Let me know. Now, one thing I did pick up when I picked up those hydroliners was some brushes. So I picked up a 610 and a 620, which are these 2 here. Now, I have used the 610 the most, and it is fraying a little bit, but those 2 are great brushes for doing your eyeliner. And I did also pick up this angled eyeliner brush, just kind of to try out how it would go. I mainly used it for face paint, because I didn't want to use my super expensive super brushes, but they all work really well for eyeliner. Do recommend. They weren't too expensive. I realize I'm pointing around like a wizard. Not used to filming, so trying my best. Oh boy, okay, so we are on to the Colourpop madness now. I made, I think, 3 Colourpop orders this year. I don't regret it, but we'll get into the nitty gritty in a moment. So one of the first things I'll show you is this beautiful Sailor Moon palette. I think it's amazing. Oh, can I get the effect to work? Here we go. Kind of. It had, like, the packaging is amazing. I can't give them any faults for that. It's beautiful. And honestly, aside from the fact that it doesn't have a mirror, the colors here are absolutely beautiful. And look at that holographic packaging. I love it. My favorite shades are definitely these purple shades, and these peachy ones I'll definitely get some use out of. I haven't used this as much as I would have liked. I'm trying to think why, and I guess honestly it's just because I have a lot of these shades in other palettes, whether they're older ones that I bought or newer ones that I bought. I do tend to use the bright purples and the shimmers as like toppers because they look beautiful, but I haven't used this as much as I would like, and I probably will endeavor to use this more in the future. So front of the drawer, this needs to go. Next up, okay, so I have used this palette quite a bit. This is the She's a Rainbow, and I don't know if you can see, but it is sun bleached. I think I left this for slightly too long in sight of the window in my bathroom, and as you can see, the back is orange. That's kind of the color it looks when you buy it, but now the front of it is sun bleached, which is no fault of the palette, obviously. So this one gets a little messy. This one is one that you have to build yourself. But the colors are beautiful, but there are some pros and cons with this palette. Oh my god. Okay, so first of all, there are some pressed glitter shades, which is this one here, and I'll point to the 2 up the top. Now first, I'm not a big fan of pressed glitters, if only because if something is not eye safe, I don't really want it mixed in with all of my eye safe eyeshadows. What do you guys feel about pressed glitter? Do you like them being in your eyeshadow palettes? Do you not like them? I just think, especially this one in the orange side of the palette, it's super chunky, and I just don't really want it in there. I kind of could have done with a different orange shade, a different green shade, a different yellow shade, rather than having those pressed glitters that I feel like I can't use because I don't want to scratch my eyeball. I really don't. I want to keep my eyes as healthy as possible. The downside to this palette is I just haven't used those shades, which is kind of unfortunate. And another thing, I really like this purple side of the palette, but the darker shades I really haven't used. The reds, especially this one in the corner here, it stained really badly. Like I had it looked like I had an eye infection kind of bad, which is totally fine. Like I don't mind when, I think it's pinks and purples that tend to stain your eyes quite bad. So like I understand that, that's a makeup thing. It doesn't really bother me that much, but it was quite severe. It was quite red the next day, but I just put makeup on top. I was like, you know what, this is fine. We'll just cover it up with more concealer and move on. I do love the variety of shades. I think that's amazing. If you want a rainbow palette, it is good. It does give you all of the rainbow shades, and it does give you all the darker shades, so you can do really creative looks. I think the main downside to this for me is that I definitely have not reached for as much as I could have. I did do a lot of colorful makeup looks, I think towards the start of the year, which is when I got this palette. But towards the second half of this year, I definitely wanted more neutrals, and I haven't reached for it as much. I may do like an accent color for like when we stream a special game, but I just don't reach for it that much. And I feel like I would spend money better just having like one set of colors I really like get the purples or get the blues, because the greens in this are very yellow toned and they just do not look good on me, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely if you like all of the colors in here and you think they'll work really well and you do lots of creative looks, I recommend it. But if not, there are some other ones that I do recommend. Speaking of things that I recommend, so I got the Bare Necessities palette, and I also got it at the same time as the Stone Cold palette. So these are basically a warm and a cool toned neutral palette. They're very good. I really like these. So only downside, they got messy very quick. I have only had these I think for about a month, and they're already getting messy, but oh my god, look how beautiful these shades are. These are new, so I haven't used them a whole lot, but I really like these. I love the shimmers. I love the fact that they give you a matte black. This is a beautiful, beautiful neutrals palette. So if you're warm toned, you're a warm toner, I 100% recommend this. They blend really well. I love this palette, I think it's really good. The only thing that I would then compare to that is the Stone Cold Fox palette, which I also love, and I found out that I really like cool tone shadows. So I really like this. I use this to do my eye today. But look at this, look at these beautiful cool tone shadows. My only complaint here is that I kind of wish they did a little bit more variety in those sort of like mauve, dusty pink tones, because there are a few that are quite similar. But for today's look, I used the shade Fascinated, For Granite, and Nice Guy? There's a G in that. So I think I'm saying that correctly, but I do in both of these palettes love the shimmer shades. If you are looking for a palette that will last you for ages, or two palettes in this case, I would get the Bare Necessities and the Stone Cold Fox palette, because these two are amazing. I love them. I reach for them pretty much all of the time now. If I think, oh, I'm gonna do my makeup and you do it really quick, I'm like, oh, neutrals. Oh, neutral palette. So love these. Do you recommend them? Oh, I'm gonna say second worst purchase this year because it is usable. So this is the Little Ray of Sunshine palette from Colourpop. And also, by the way, I love Colourpop. I feel like this was a bad choice on my part. So this one here is a sunflower themed eyeshadow palette, which is lovely. You got 9 shades. I thought these would be a bit more cool toned. When you put them on your eye, they are very warm toned, which I feel like I should have been prepared for, but I feel like they just don't really work that well for me. I was like, oh, oranges, yellows, they'll contrast with my eyes, but I just don't reach for this. And the fact that it's an all matte shadow palette means that I would always have to combo it with something else. I pretty much always put a shimmer shade in the middle of my lid. So I don't know, like I wouldn't recommend it unless you really love the colors in this palette, because I just don't reach for it and the colors don't really look that great on me. So bit of a sad one this one was. Now I think this is my worst purchase, and I don't know if it's necessarily Colourpop's fault. So this is a cream gel liner in the shade Exit. Now, the downside to this shade is the goddamn fact that it is so dry, I cannot use it. I do not know if when most people get this, it's usable. I don't know how you're meant to apply this as an eye. It smells. It's not like bad. It has a chemical smell. It doesn't smell great to me. I would love to know if anyone else has bought this and had a good experience with it, because I cannot apply it, I cannot use it, so I just feel like it's a waste of money. And I have that other white Suva eyeliner that works really well, so you know, don't recommend this one. Alright, so something I do love and I really like is this blush from Colourpop, which is called Tear It Up My Heart. There you go. It kind of had like a flower on it, if you can see. I've used this a bit. I really like this. It's like a coral toned blush and it's really pretty. I really like it. It applies quite lightly, I would say. It's good for everyday use, less so for streaming, but it's nice when I want to go out and about. Do enjoy. A blush that I unfortunately don't like is another one of these Sailor Moon packaging blushes, and I love the packaging, don't get me wrong, right? Oops, love the packaging. This one has a mirror. As you can see, I really haven't used this, and the thing is it's too dark, too strong for my skin tone. It applied really patchy when I first used it. I don't know if I needed to be a bit more light-handed, but I haven't reached for it since. And it's a really pretty color, but I think it would work on someone with a little bit more of a tan, I suppose. But unfortunately for me, it just doesn't work. And I feel like if I'd got the lighter shade, which I think at the time may have been sold out, I think if I'd had the lighter shade, it probably would have worked a lot better for me. This one is From the Moon. But oh my god, not getting rid of it because the packaging is beautiful. Onto the last few things. One of the last things I got was, this is the Brow Boss Gel, and I really like this. I've been using this to use on my brows. This is the clear one. It doesn't like super rock solid set your brows in, but it does a decent job, and as a first product, first try of any sort of brow gel, it's not too bad. I don't mind it. I think it's decent and it's not too expensive, so was definitely worth the shot and I do not regret it. Okay, something I really like, which I think this is also Sailor Moon. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's a glitter in the shade Moonlight Legend, which I will just, first of all, appreciate how beautiful this packaging is. Oh, more hollow, I love it. The glitter is super, super pretty. I do really like it. I love this. I bought this for a Coachella themed event, which unfortunately got cancelled, but I do really like it. I think it's beautiful. You get a lot of it too. Like, this is a big, decent pot, so I do really like it. Haven't tried any of the other like gel glitters, but this is more body glitter, less like eye glitter. Haven't worn it long term, but seems like it would work just fine. On to the last thing I bought this year, which is actually something I've been meaning to use but just haven't had time to. So unlike the cream gel liner, this is like a clear gloss, and this is meant for like super creative makeup looks, and honestly, I just haven't had time to use it yet since I've ordered it. I think I will use it at some point. It's currently summer though, so I don't know if I want to put the equivalent of lip gloss on my eyelids. But I'll try it at some point, and I don't regret it. It was pretty cheap. I've wanted to try it for a bit. So you know, I'll try it at some point, but I do not regret purchasing it just yet. If I ever use it, I'll update you guys. Why not, right? Alright, well that's it. Thank you so much for coming to see my purchases of 2020 highlight reel, I suppose. This is kind of everything I bought, aside from a few random drugstore items that I've probably forgotten. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed watching it. Let me know if you like this style of chit chat, rant video. Let me know what you think. I enjoyed making this. This was a bit of fun. Something different. If you would like to follow me on Twitch, there's some links in the bio. If you'd like to follow me or watch any of my previous videos, they'll be on the screen somewhere. And I will see you guys next time.